Hi, hello, namaste. How are you all? How is the energy? Let's start the session with the beautiful affirmations. And what is today's affirmation? All emotions are valid and every feeling is a message of truth. Every feeling is a message of truth. Should be handled with love, respect and knowledge. Every emotion should be handled with love, respect and knowledge. And caring myself is my right and my responsibility. Caring myself is my right and my responsibility. Okay, students, so let's start today's session. So what do we have for today's session? So I'm going to take up the topic on how to get 70 on 70. Ma'am, is there any chances that I have only one day time? I have prepared little bit here and there in the competitive world, like for preparing for the competitive exam. I have neglected computer science, but now I have to get 70 on 70. I want to put some efforts at the end at least, so that is there any chances to get 70 on 70? Okay, chances are there. See, definitely, the right time is now. I'm ready to rise. My timing is divine, isn't it? Definitely we can do that. So we'll just take it in a positive way and we'll do it. How to get 70 on 70 when we have less time and how to cover it. Okay, that is what this video about. So 70 on 70 study strategy. So what do we have? So what are the most important chapters that you need to cover it up? Most important chapters that you need to cover up, and then the order in which we need to study, so that less time we can cover more and get the concepts in deep and get the marks. We'll go with the chapters that we need to study. So what are the chapters we need to study? I want you to study the database concepts first, because that acts as a base foundation, so that the SQL chapters becomes easy for you. Okay, so whatever you've learned, for example, you're learning primary key, foreign key and all. If you don't know what is primary key and foreign key, you will not be able to understand. What is relation? If you don't know, it is very difficult to understand here. So the basics are given in this chapter, database concepts, and then you need to study structured query language, and then comes the computer networks, database communication, and then you can go for sorting, searching, and the chapter Q here. Is the point clear? So in this chapter, totally you will be covering only 7 chapters. Ma'am, is it possible to get out of it just by preparing 7 chapters? Yes, hold on, I'll tell you. It's not just to, just to have some kind of attention for getting with 7 chapters and 70 marks. It's not like that. 7 chapters thoroughly if you prepare. I have an idea like how it works, so you can focus here. So 7 chapters, I have told you, we have not taken stacks. If you feel that infix conversion is difficult for me, ma'am, I don't want to go for that, and then we have that algorithm for infix to postfix, and then we have evaluation of postfix. So if you find it difficult, you can skip that particular chapter. Okay, and prepare for these 7 chapters thoroughly for 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 markers and MCQs from these chapters. Okay, so blueprint is there, 12 marks, 15 marks, 12 marks, 9 marks, 10 marks, 10 marks and 8 marks. So totally you will be preparing for 76. So totally you will be preparing for what? Totally you will be preparing for 76 marks you will be preparing. And preparing only for MCQs. Is there any chapters that you will be getting MCQs? Of course, no, it is not only the 7 chapters, you will get MCQs from other chapters also. Then what is the point of you telling me a 70 on 70, ma'am? We will work on that. Okay, MCQs, we will come to this slide again. We will just refer to the blueprint now. Blueprint I have given in detail. I will be explaining in the next chapter, next slide also. So for each chapter, 12 marks, 12 marks, 15 marks. So what will be covering? MCQs, fill in the blanks, 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 markers. And we have this fill in the blanks, 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 markers. So like this, each thing I have given, you will get an idea. You can, if you want to take a screenshot, you can take screenshot of it, so that you can clearly work on that. Okay, we'll go for in detail analysis of this. So what do we have here now? Okay, so chapters scoring for 70 on 70, totally there are 12 chapters, and what I have shown you, the highlighted with green background is going to be the chapters that you are preparing. 7 chapters I told you, you will be preparing for 7 chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters you will be preparing. Okay, and okay, we will be covering the MCQs. Let's consider that. See, whenever we are telling you that 7 chapters you are preparing, thoroughly you need to prepare, not like simply glancing through, it is not going to fetch you. Thoroughly you need to prepare for these chapters. So I have written the MCQ for each thing, fill in the blanks. Okay, and we have 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker, and 5 marker again from the part E section. So if you can check here in this MCQ how much we will be able to get from these 7 chapters only. 1, 2 are there from sorting, so it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11. So out of 15 MCQs with these 7 chapters, you can get around 11 MCQs you can get it. What about for the fill in the blanks? Fill in the blanks means 2 plus 1, SQL 2 plus 1, 3. So 11 plus 3 is what? 14 marks we can get. Okay, from 7 chapters only, 14 MCQs you can sure of getting it. So what about the 6 MCQs that you have to prepare? Okay, 6 MCQs. Okay, I'll keep that MCQs later. We will take up it again, because in this slide, let me finish off and go for the MCQs later. So out of 7, hope it is clear. That's what I wanted to tell you. So totally you can cover 14 out of 20. Okay, out of 21 markers, 14 marks you can be sure of. 6 marks what to do, ma'am? We will come to that topic later. Now we will go for the 2 markers. So if you study for these 7 chapters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means out of 6 questions, you have an option of 6 questions and you need to answer only 4. You're supposed to answer only for 4. That means 2 more is there, 2 more questions are there for you to answer. That means you have extra questions. If you prepare only for these 7 also, you have 2 more extra. Out of 6, only any 4 should be answered. All any 4 only, any 4 only. You would have seen the pattern. Next we'll go for 3 markers. In case of 3 markers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from these chapters. So I will be able to cover 5 questions. 5 questions I will be able to cover, and I have to write only for 4. That means I have 1 extra here. So this part also I can assure. That means 1 goes wrong also I can manage. Even in 2 markers also, if I go 2 wrong also I can manage. There is no problem with getting 8 marks here, 12 marks here, there is no problem. What about the part D? Part D, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means out of 5 questions, you will be able to answer 4 questions from these 7 chapters only. That means you will be able to have an extra question for you. This extra question will help you out in not missing the marks in other sections. Will help you out not missing in other section. That's why. Okay. Next we'll go for the part D. Part E, sorry. Part E, what we have? Ma'am, we have only 2 questions. There is no option only, no, ma'am, with what you told. Okay, with the concept what I've told, you can only 2 questions. No extra question you will be getting. 1 plus 1, only 2. Out of 2, you have to answer 2. Students, if you gone through with the preparatory papers and the model papers, just see this 1 question from the understanding of data. Only 1 question they will be giving. If you prepare, 2 questions will be covered. If you are thorough of it, you will get it. But what if 1 query fails? What if 1 query goes wrong? It is better 1 question. If you study only for 10 minutes, you will be able to handle that question from understanding of data. Especially they will be asking mean, median, mode, and then the standard deviation and the range. Especially if you ask my opinion, ma'am, I cannot prepare, I don't know, I don't want to waste my time. then it is your choice. But if you ask my opinion, if you spend just 10 minutes, you will be able to handle that one question here also, so that you can be even more sure of getting one extra question from that also. But some people will have that ma'am, eight chapters, it is difficult for me, I cannot handle, means you can go for only 2. But my suggestion will be that you have to prepare only one question only, you have to prepare, not many questions, only one question calculation only, so that you can be sure of more options in 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker from part D, 5 marker from part E also. Extra you can have it, so that you will not miss out any marks from that. Okay, ma'am, what about this? So we can cover all these things here, no problem in that. What about MCQs? MCQs, what you do is, MCQs for those 6 questions, especially here, you can just see here in this, sorry, in this, what we have left out with this, 2 fill in the blanks. 2 fill in the blanks are there. 2 fill in the blanks means the chances of getting marks in fill in the blanks is more, because options will be there. Simply like that I'm telling you. Okay, fill in the blanks, the options will be given so that it is easy for you to try. That is one thing. Okay, and after that, if you study this, yeah, that's what I want to tell you. With respect to the MCQs, what you can do for those 6 questions, okay? 6 means 4 plus 2 it is, right? It is 4 plus 2. That means 4 MCQs and 2 fill in the blanks, okay? So now what you have to do, fill in the blanks, less only will be there. You can guess, I feel, okay? So I want you to prepare the MCQs only from these chapters, like 1, 2, 3, 12. Ma'am, how to prepare for MCQs? You tell me, ma'am, we have less time, I can't sit and study the entire thing. Now what you can do is prepare thoroughly from these chapters, from the model papers. Model papers thoroughly for these chapters you prepare. Then we have the preparatory papers given in your college, those papers also you prepare. And after that, handbook, if you are referring any handbook, okay, handbook you refer it, okay. And then if you have studied NCERT for your test, or for midterm you would have studied, for test you would have studied, you would have highlighted, those don't miss this highlighted points for these chapters. At least the NCERT, ma'am, there is no time for me to check for the entire NCERT, means at least the highlighted points, whatever is there from this chapter, you should not miss out, so that you will be able to get, because you need not have to prepare the whole chapter as such. Okay, preparing only from this chapter, model papers, preparatory papers, handbook, NCERT, highlighted points, definitely you will be able to get the marks here. But again, okay, so, but you should be thorough with these. Okay, the chances of you getting marks, okay, is high. That's what I can tell you. Okay, and is there any other thing that I want to tell you here? 1 minute. Ma'am, you have told me that in case of 70 on 70, here we'll get an option as 4 by 6 and 5 out of 5 I have to answer 4, out of 6 I have to answer 4, out of 5 I have to answer, and 2 out of 2. So if you want more options, you can also go for the chapter 8. That means I've just included one stack chapter here. I've just included, rest of them is the same, only included that stack chapter, so that just with including stack chapter, see, in this case you will be, I'll just tell you, so in this 7 chapters you will be preparing for 76 marks. Okay, by preparing for 7 chapters you will be preparing for 76 marks. Ma'am, I want more options, I cannot take any chance, means one more chapter, if you prepare 8 chapters including stacks, you will be preparing for 84 marks. So there, what is the thing, you can just see here. So you will be able to cover some 15 out of 20 questions, you will be able to get 15 MCQs and fill in the blanks, and out of 4 questions only you need to answer. That means you will have more options, and here out of 5 you will be able to get only 4 you need to write, and out of 6 you have to write 4 questions, and here 2 only will have it, because I have not included that understanding. But don't think with respect to the number of chapters, but if you feel that I can spend some 10 minutes of time on understanding of data, you can be sure of that one question also from that main. Is the point clear? So next, what is there for here? Okay, so yeah. So if you want to prepare only for without programming concepts, means only this 5 chapters, 6 chapters you can prepare. So this part I've already covered in the other slides, so I'm not going to highlight this more on this. Okay, so this is going to be topics. 1 minute, I'll just show you. Okay, so 50 marks without programming means you can just prepare for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters. That means only theoretical chapters we have taken, but not the programming concepts. Okay, since it is on that, and important chapters for above 60, you can just include even the theoretical and the practical programming chapters also, wherein you can get 60, you can take a screenshot and prepare only for this. Okay, and we have a chapter-wise important topics to be covered here. So I'll be covering some important topics also in this slide. So what do we have here? So DBMS and applications, degree and cardinality, very simple from chapter 8, only definitions. Most of the time, definitions for 5 markers. That means define attribute, tuple, cardinality, degree, and then we have this domain and database constraints, metadata, database engine, query, database schema. We have limitations of file system and DBMS example, and then the applications, and what are the keys and what are the properties of relational model. Okay, so similarly we have structured query language. In this, what they will ask you, they may ask you the DDL command, DML command, the syntax and the example for that, and also with respect to the differences between order by, group by clause, alter, update, delete and drop, and also with respect to the constraints, data types, and also the functions, aggregate functions, single row functions, and date functions, string functions, and also numeric functions they may ask you. So queries is one important chapter. They may go queries, that means that 5 marker will be there, no query, so that also they will be asking for sure under part D, that is hot section. So what is there in the chapter 10? That's going to be the computer network. In computer network, different types of network, different types of topology, networking devices they will be asking, types of network topology devices, and addresses, MAC address and then IP address. DNS is one question they may ask you here, and expansion or definition, www, HTML, URI अथवा URL. So what is there in chapter 11? Data communication. So they may ask you with respect to the bandwidth and data transfer rate. Communication modes. Remember, communication mode is different from the transmission media, wherein we have simplex, half duplex and full duplex. Switching technique, that's going to be what? Circuit switching and packet switching. Transmission media is what? Wired, wireless. Okay, and protocols, FTP, HTTP, PPP, SMTP, TCP and IP. So what is there for the chapter 5? That's going to be sorting and different types of sorting, algorithm on all these different sorting techniques, arrangement of element, that's going to be in part E question. This is going to be part E. This is going to be part D. Time complexity algorithm, linear, constant and quadratic time algorithm, they may ask you for 3 markers. Chapter 6, searching, what do we have here? In case of searching, what do we have? Searching is very simple, 2 types of searching and applications of binary search, algorithm or linear and binary search. Define some definition, what is hashing, what is collision, what is collision resolution, what is perfect hash, like that they may ask you some important definitions here. So what is there in chapter 7? This is going to be a simple chapter, don't miss chapter. This is what my suggestion. Understanding of data. I have taken this just to tell you, just to assure you that only one question from this chapter 5 for sure. Okay, only in that with respect to that aspect. So stacks. Stack, what do we have here? So stack, you can just, I have just given you the important questions based on the order in which you need to complete the chapters. Okay, that's why I have taken stacks and queues at the end. Okay, because major high weightage chapters I've covered, and then the less weightage chapters. Stack, principal, operations, applications, programming applications only they will be asking. Implementation, that means what is push, pop and is empty. Infix, postfix, prefix expression and what is the notation for it. Conversion and evaluation of postfix expression with respect to example, or it can be with respect to the algorithm they may ask you. In case of queues, what we have, so we have queue, principle of queue, that's and operations of queue, queue and deck, applications, programming applications of queue and deck, difference between queue and stack, deck and queue, queue and stack, deck and queue, and algorithm on palindrome using deck only. To check whether a given string is palindrome or not, using a deck you're supposed to do it, and implementation of adding, removing and is empty. That means what with respect to Q, NQ, DQ and then is empty. Okay, these questions they may ask you from chapter 8, that's going to be an programming chapter, that's going to be an 8 marks it carries. So that's all is there for today's session, students. Thank you so much. All the best.